down and... Oh. Oh. I'm trying to pique her curiosity enough to where when I show her no direct contact with her or any direct signals, that she's still interested and she's still just considering me around. So here she's actually doing something quite nice, where as I'm walking around, she keeps putting her head inside and she's moving out of the way for me, which is really nice to have naturally, because a lot of horses wouldn't. There you go. Good. So there I'm just showing her as minimal contact as possible. It's not direct. I'm trying my hardest to be quiet, but also to just talk and be around. Oh, excuse me. Around her. Some results in a lick and chew there. So the moment she's been here for 2 days, it's the second full day now. She arrived 3 days ago, but on the evening, so she's quite fresh. And yeah, it's just about building a little bit of contact with her, a little bit of connection. Can breathe down the nose there. Coming in, piquing her curiosity, and playing with that. So foals, unhandled horses, catching hard to catch horses. This can really do well, even for general space and leadership. So he's just trying to pique their curiosity rather than being direct forward to her. Oh, she's just come out to me hand now. I didn't even. So, but now she's noticing. Whereas the direct approach would be I approach her. I'm trying to pique her curiosity enough, just being in the surrounding area, in order for her to turn and go, what's going on? So, and then once she does, I just walk around, I walk away. I'm doing part of the new foal series. So I'm just going to greet, and then I'm just going to see what she does. She doesn't have to follow. That's one key thing, is if you do approach, they sniff you. She doesn't have to do this where she follows me around. Laid over here with her hay. She could have, now over there she's sniffing her bed. She's allowed to do things, and that's quite crucial, especially where the older she gets, or the more professional and more challenging things you try to do, especially in a few years, well, quite a few years for her, but for a horse that's going through saddles, and ridden work and maybe breaking in, things like that, this can just make sure that they look at you, like right there. So a little glance over, alright, so I'm just playing with the curiosity, and I'm not even really doing anything. I'm talking to the camera, I'm looking around, I'm not directly looking at her. The one reason I'm doing this is to help her with her door, and getting comfortable in this space. Of course, it's going to help her get more comfortable with me. Good, nice blowout. That's cool. And you always want to look for blowouts through the nostrils, or a really calming drop of the head, a lick and chew. Those are the things that can indicate that you are timing properly. I'd say this is a technique through playing with the chemistry of the horse, through its brain. And their natural instincts, and obviously how they would be with other horses. However, there are things that will come with time. You're not always going to get the timing right. You're not always going to direct your approach right. You're not always going to, and that's okay, because you don't always have to be completely on the ball. That comes with time and practice, and putting yourself in them positions in order to acknowledge the things you do. So, but now she's grazing. Have a little peek at me. Her ear's on me. Right, so I've got at least her attention while I'm in here, and I haven't even had to, it's not like I've been going around and waving my arm and saying, hey, look at me. She's done it naturally. She's done it how a curious 6-month-old would, and that's perfect. And it's a bonus that when she has gotten, unfortunately, like in my way, in front of me, she's actually chose to move out, let me go past, which is quite nice. That's quite a rare quality to have. A lot of horses won't be aware to move, which shows me that maybe she's had some form of discipline from her mother in fields, or she was with her brother as well, so she's probably a bit knowledgeable of kind of, come on now, let's go, let's move, which I'm happy with. So there, a little curious look again. Right, so, and it's just playing with it. Notice she's grazing. I'm not going to push anymore. I'm not going to go direct to her. So, but if I just start walking around, there her head's coming in a little bit more. So she'll probably go back to grazing, but does she want to say hi? She does. Okay, and I'm going to walk away. So, because that's all I want at the moment. I just want her to, as I approach, indirectly mean I'm not straight line walking towards there. I'm going at an indirect line, which is more kind of, if you imagine a triangle around her, or a square or a triangle or a circle, those sort of it, to say hi again. So I'm going to acknowledge it. So I'm going to let her sniff. Good. She wants to go. Good. So I'm not directly going to go to her here. No, I just missed out on a fuss, but I'm not doing this just for the fuss and the comfort. I'm doing this to be able to, when I make a move, she's aware, her ear comes up. So there, I can give her a little bit of a scratch. Good, and then I'll leave her to it, and now she's probably not gonna, she's not gonna, because she's in a grazing mode, which is fine. So, but yeah, that is pretty much the intros to what I'll be practicing with her. Obviously she's in at the moment, but she's got plenty of space in here. It's quite a huge stable, but I'm just trying to work on her being settled around people. When all the horses go out, she tends to call out and things like that. And obviously she has just left her mother and brother as well, so obviously it's a complete different environment. So yeah, just trying to work on her becoming calmer, more chill, just being more present, and knowing that there's people around and there's security around, and that's what I hope to be for her. So yeah, and I just practice that. But her ears still having a little bit of a flick back if I'm to approach indirectly. See how the head comes up. So now I can slight direct there. Say hi, you go back to what you were doing. Awesome, she goes back to what she was doing. So that's it really. If you've got a hard to catch horse, an unhandled horse, a young horse like this, being 6 months old, try using a little bit of reverse psychology, what you think sometimes to direct, go to them and catch them. Maybe try and play around them in their space. They're going to know you're there. You can pull, push, move them around if you need to, depending on the horse. So, but for her, I'm happy with acknowledgement, comes over, has a think, has a good look, basically accepts the offer of just being around and coming to say hi. And hopefully then that settles her. She had a lick and chew, she blew out a couple times. Obviously he's got her head lower, so now she's grazing and eating. So obviously we've come in here, I've been indirect, I've been almost not acknowledging her, and it's had this effect. So there I thought she was actually going to go to the stable again, but instead she's come to me. Now you can overdo this sort of stuff, so I will be out of here in a second. So yeah, so I'm going to wait until she goes back to grazing, or I'll even show her to go back to grazing. There we go, she's off. So now I'm going to time my exit, so where I can just slip out and it's not direct, which means she probably will be alright by herself. So that's that.